The ongoing situation in Myanmar, Burma, in the Rakhine district. What's happening there? How is this portrayed by the mainstream media? And what is this demonstration about?
Well, what is happening in Arakan or Rakhine State, northern Rakhine State, is now a full-fledged genocide, yeah? And it is not simply ethnic cleansing, where like people are just simply driven out of their homes over the last 2 weeks. Over 300,000 fled into the Bangladeshi border. That's just ahistorical. I'm from Burma. I am Buddhist. I am Burmese. I came from an extended military family, yeah? And my own great uncle, who passed away last year, was in charge of the Rohingya district and other districts as a military commander. And the Rohingyas were considered our own people. Yeah, they were peaceful. They had a rebellion like any other ethnic minority in the country, including the Burmese communists, armed rebellion against the Burmese central state. But that was normal in those days. And after they surrendered, and they were accorded peace and respect and treated equal before the law.
Give us some insight about the problem. How many fractions are there at present?
In the Rohingya situation in Western Burma, we've got quite a few different ethnic groups with claims on their own native lands and different histories, different from the central Burmese history. So it's a bit like Britain, a cluster of different kingdoms and different ethnic groups, different linguistic backgrounds. But in the specific case of the Rohingya in that area, Western Burma, you can only be understood it as a triangular politics. Yeah? Buddhist Rakhine, who outnumber the Rohingya Muslim, but 3-1. So the Rohingyas in that region are minority. In other words, they do not pose a threat to either the local Buddhists or national Buddhists. Yeah? And so we, the Burmese Buddhists, from the central plain, are the majority, the dominant group. We colonized that western part of Burma back in 1785. And the Rohingyas, Muslims, and other Muslim, Christians, and Buddhist Rakhines, they all lived in the same kingdom. Yeah? That kingdom was ransacked and colonized by the Burmese, and many fled the country into Bangladesh, then East Bengal. This was 1785. And then 25 years later, the British annexed that place, the new Burmese colony. And then in 1948, we regained independence from Britain, and the Burmese began to behave as if they were the new British. So what we are seeing is the majority Buddhist, the Burmese, controlled by the military, nationalist military, playing divide and rule. Pitting the Rohingyas.
So there are three parties. You have the Rohingyans who are the victims, and then you have the Buddhists, and then you have the
they
central
were also
government.
victims of the Burmese colonization.
Right.
The Rakhine Buddhists, and then you've got the dominant Burmese Buddhists. They are the majority. So the Burmese Buddhists, backed by the military, or ruled by the military, are basically playing the Rohingya Muslims and Buddhist Rakhine.
There is an alliance of the Rakhine Buddhists and the military,
right,
this is what is resulting to
yes.
driving out.
Before the alliance, after the independence, the Rakhines wanted independence from Burma, and a small faction of Rohingya also wanted independence. But that small faction of the Rohingya group, named like Mujahideens, they surrendered. They surrender, and the Burmese military made a deal with the Rohingya population, so that they didn't have to fight two front wars against both Rakhines and the Rohingyas. Now the Burmese military, had a radical anti-Muslim turn since 1960, and then that radical turn, became essentially genocidal. So the military decided that the Rohingya people are a major national security concern, because they are the only Muslim.
So the plan is to completely drive everybody out. So the 1.5 million
the 1 million already driven out in 39 years. See, that is why I say genocide. Ethnic cleansing is just simply driving out people from a particular geographic location. But this is something much more sinister and evil, because there's a policy that are designed to create living conditions where Rohingyas will be physically weakened, communally destroyed, not enough nutrition. They are not allowed to go and fish. They are not allowed to go farm.
Apartheid regime for the last since 1960.
No. Apartheid. In apartheid.
Worse than apartheid.
In apartheid, people were deprived of legal rights, and they're treated as second-class human. In Burmese situation, what we are seeing is a combination of, Gaza and a concentration camp. And you cannot understand the Rohingya situation unless you see the Rohingya communities as vast open prisons. So when like young Rohingyas angry, feeling that they have no future, no prospect for life, and they are just sitting ducks, and they take up arms. That is more like Jewish inmates in Auschwitz rising up against the SS. In October 1944 in Auschwitz, a Jewish inmate rose up, killed 4 SS officers in Auschwitz with the help of Polish social workers who brought in like gunpowder in their lunchbox over a period of 6 months. They used that to blow up and kill the 4 SS. The SS retaliated by killing 500 inmates and blowing up the entire barrack. What is happening today is worse than what Hitler did in Auschwitz in that particular incident of uprising. The Rohingya militants killed 12 policemen, and we drove out 300,000 people, burned everything within an area that stretches 100 kilometers, burn infants, burn old men who cannot walk, and drive them out, kill them. And then when people are running, the military will shoot from the speedboat, from helicopters, and then they lay the landmines along the path where people will be running. It isn't simply that the Burmese military want the Rohingyas to get out. They also want to kill as many as they possibly can. So that is why this is both a genocide with ethnic cleansing element, but most importantly, this is a full-scale genocide. And British government is complicitous in this because it knows it to be genocide. It even refuses to condemn the crime.
What about sorry, if you quickly introduce yourself.
Zani, I'm a genocide scholar, human rights activist, a Burmese Buddhist from Burma.
Do you have a business card with you?
My blog is there, and so everything is there.
A few more questions. We see the whole Western media when the Suki election happened, they completely ignored the fact that the Muslims, Rohingyas, were not allowed to vote. We didn't see it in the media at all.
No. You know why? Because because they are just going along with Suu Kyi's rhetoric. 2 years ago, when on the eve of election, she was asked about the Rohingya. She said, this is not our priority. We've got so many problems and so many major issues, and genocide is not a major issue for Suu Kyi. And the Western media is still, in love with Suu Kyi at the time. That's been, portraying her as Nelson Mandela coming to power.
All boils down to the economic interest.
No, not just economic interest, but who cares? Muslims are killed. Who cares? You think if Catholics in Italy are killed the same way Muslims are killed, do you think that the Western media is going to not covering it. Of course, Western media is also very anti-Muslim racist. That is why they keep portraying, all these Paris and Barcelona, everything. They don't cover hundreds of children being bombed or drowned in Syria or Damascus or anywhere. Because
Thank you.